Listen. I get it. Getting waves can be tricky at first. You might not know which products to use, what steps to follow. You might not even know the basics, like what haircut to get. Well, listen, today is your lucky day because I'm here to guide you through everything you need to know to start your wave journey today. Hold up, before we dive in, do me a favor right quick and just smash the like button. It only takes a second. I'm spending several minutes making this video for you. Listen, you can spend 1 second pressing the like button for me, right? Cool. Now without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, so first up, let's hop into the very first step, which is just washing your hair. Okay, so if you're not familiar with the washing style method, let me break it down for you. Pretty much instead of washing your hair the regular way, shampoo, conditioner, wash it out, and then be done, this time you're gonna have a specific process that you're gonna follow. So first things first, let's take a quick look at our hair. Listen, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what happened, but somehow my do-rag fell off in the middle of the night. The struggle, man, I tell you. Anyway, this is what my waves are looking like.
As you can see, there's quite a bit of frizz.
It looks bad, but it's salvageable.
I'm gonna really need to focus in with the brush.
Especially in the crown right there. Look at that right there. Let's get the washing style started. Let's go. So the first step will be to wet your hair. Just let the water run all through it. It was at this moment that I realized I forgot my towel. And I had my whole tripod, my ring light, a second mirror. All of that was in front of the door. So I just said, forget it. Hey, so let's get our Smooth Styles shampoo bar. If you're not familiar with Smooth Styles, go look them up. I got this shampoo bar from them. And you'll see a few more videos of me using this shampoo bar too. I honestly think it's one of my favorite shampoos. Not even the fact that it's a bar, that's a plus, but like just the way it performs. It's a good overall shampoo. And right now you just see me working it into my hair. I'm trying to get a thumbnail. I know I look crazy. Anyway, after I work the shampoo into my hair, now I'm gonna put a few drops of oil into my hair. I got this oil from the Wave Essentials. Go check them out too. You see me use their products all the time. That should tell you something. So I'm just putting a few drops around my hair. Now I'm gonna brush this all in. I want you guys to keep in mind that this is not what my waves would normally look like. As I stated, this is after my do-rag fell off in the middle of the night. I thought this was the golden opportunity, honestly, because why would I want my waves to look super polished from the beginning? I need them to look a little bit rougher at the beginning. That way you guys can kind of relate, you know what I mean? Because if you're watching this tutorial, you probably don't have waves already, so you probably want to see the progression. If that's right, go ahead and drop a comment down below saying that's right. I'm trying to give you guys as many angles as possible. You could just look at my hair and see the toll that the pillowcase did on it. I mean, it's like a completely different texture. One of the best tips I can give you is to just take your hand and pat your hair down. Smooth it out, possibly even use a lay down pad or a plastic bag.
Trust me, you'll see for yourself just how much of a difference that it makes. I'm assuming most of you have seen my tutorial on how to tie a durag, but if you haven't, the link is in the description.
Oh, here's a good tip. When you're washing your hair, make sure to get a shampoo that's sulfate free. Sulfate can really strip your hair of its natural oils, and that just dries it out and makes it harder to manage. This is exactly what you don't want to do when you're trying to form waves. Just remember this, always wash your hair before you cut it, not after. You just don't want to mess up the integrity of your waves, especially in this beginning stage when you're just trying to form the waves. You don't want to mess up the progress. Oh yeah, while you're at it, since we already mentioned doing or going for shampoos that are sulfate free, also go for shampoos that are paraben free and alcohol free too. These are things that are also known to dry your hair out too. Just look for shampoos with more nourishing and more moisturizing ingredients. That way they really nourish your scalp. Healthy hair should always be the first step. It's the top priority. All right, but getting back on topic, let's talk about the best haircut for laying the foundation for your waves. The most common, without a doubt, haircut for 360 waves is the number 2 with the grain. You wanna know why this is so important? Because with your waves, length really does matter, like a lot. If your hair is too long, then it's too hard to maintain and manage. On the other hand, if your hair is too short, then it won't have enough length to start curling. Remember, waves are essentially laid down curls, so getting the right haircut is really crucial. My recommendation is to get a barber who understands waves, understands how they work, understands how to cut them, and then make sure that you communicate to the barber exactly what you want. What you're doing is you're setting the stage, building that foundation. You don't want to be starting out your waves on a bad haircut, right? Well, you might not know that. This is day 1 after all. That's why I'm here and I'm telling you. So odds are the best haircut for you is the 2 with the grain.
I'm going to be teaching you how to cut your own hair. So first up, let's list the materials that you'll need. The first material you'll need is a hair clipper. These are used to actually cut your hair down, and it's very important in tapering your hair. When looking for a clipper, make sure you find one with a lever like this that can open and close. Later in this video, I'll go over the difference between open and close. Also, make sure you find a clipper that comes with a set of guards like this. Most clippers come with guards 1 through 8. I recommend finding clippers that come with guards below the 1 guard as well, but we'll go over the guards later in this video as well. The next material you're gonna need is a trimmer. You could also call this an outliner. Really, it's whatever you call it. When it comes to trimmers, I recommend finding one that's pretty high powered. There are a lot of trimmers out there that aren't really that good, and you don't really need to buy one that's super expensive, but just make sure you at least check the reviews before you just buy the cheapest trimmer out there. While we're on the topic of finding good quality clippers and trimmers, there is something that I should plug right now. I found these really nice quality clippers that actually are pretty affordable. If you go to thecutbuddy.com, you can get both of these in a bundle together, which is an extremely good deal. Most clippers are over $65 by themselves, and the trimmers are another $65 by themselves. So to get both of these together is pretty good. And both the clippers and the trimmers come with their own guards. They're wireless, and they come with a charger, and there's other stuff that comes in the kit as well. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you check this out at www.thecutbuddy.com, and make sure you use my code WaveManMike so you get a discount whenever you purchase this kit. The link will be down in the description.
First, you want to start off by combing your hair. What this does is picks your hair off of your scalp so that it is easier to get through by your clippers. Because if your hair is just laid down completely flat on your head, it's going to be really hard for your clippers to get a real hold on your hair, and it might actually snag and make like a patch in your head, and you don't want to be Patchy the Pirate. So make sure that you comb your hair up so that it isn't stuck down to your head. Okay, so you remember those clippers we were talking about earlier? Now's the time to use them. So the one I'm using is a 2. I'm going to put it on my clipper and then I'm going to close the clipper. Here's a quick explanation of what it means for the clipper to have the lever open and closed. So when the lever is in this back position like this, it's open. When it's in the forward position like this, it's closed. The open position is higher than the closed position. Now let's explain with the grain versus against the grain. Basically, when you cut with the direction of your hair, this is with the grain. When you cut against the direction of your hair, this is against the grain. Against the grain cuts come out much lower than with the grain cuts. So if you start doing it one way, make sure you continue doing it that way until the haircut is over, because if you don't, you will have each time you do your haircut, you want to make sure you locate this area in your head. It's called the crown. It'll be a place where your hair seems to start. So what you want to do is find that crown and cut outward from that crown area to the edge of your hair on each side. And ever so often you want to make sure to comb your hair out just so you can pick it back up to make sure that you've gotten everything off of your scalp and it's not still laid down. Okay, so now you're going to need to use more guards. The ones that I use are the 0 guard, the 1 guard, and the 2 guard. And you'll also need to be able to use your clippers without any guards, because that is as low as you're going to get without using, the trimmers. Next, you want to grab your trimmers or outliners, whatever you want to call them. And this is the section where you outline your hair. You want to make sure that you brush down all those edges before you start cutting anything. And in that front section, you might want to even cut down the hairline to a lower guard than what the rest of your hair is, just so you don't have anything hanging over. When I do this, I always use the 1 guard just because it doesn't have too much of a transition from what I did on top of my head.
So when it comes to the hairline, I figured it's better that I show you afterward rather than during the actual haircut, so you can get better camera angles and a better explanation. So what you want to do is, first, before you do anything, you see these side areas, you want to do that area first. Just have this going directly down. If you think that you might mess up this area, you can get something like this, a straight edge, maybe even a ruler, and you can just put it on your hairline so that you know that you're not going to go past this line that's right here. You can start in this middle section, get where you need this to be, and then work outward from the middle on each side.
As a general guide, 2 with the grain is the best bet. When it comes to products, choosing the right ones can really make a difference too. I personally recommend searching online. That way you can tailor the products exactly to your needs. But if you're in a hurry and you really need to start right now, you want to start today, you can always go to the store. There's plenty of good products out there in the stores as well. Just to name a few, you can go to like a beauty supply store, maybe like a Sally's, Walmart, CVS, maybe even the Dollar Tree. Just like the shampoo, make sure you steer clear of products with those harmful chemicals. So the sulfates, that's another chemical that you want to avoid even in your products, just like in your shampoo. But then in your products, you also have to look out for some other ones like silicones. Oh yeah, parabens can also pop up too. First up, let's talk about the Wave Essentials Strawberry Shortcake Growth Serum. Here's why it's a game changer. It's packed with a bunch of nutrient-rich ingredients, which focus on boosting your hair health and the hair growth as well. And that's all thanks to its vitamin-packed formula. It brings a moisturizing aspect to the table, which just ensures that your waves stay hydrated and reduces the risk of breakage. Plus, for those with sensitive scalps, it's formulated to be gentle, avoiding irritation while nourishing your hair. So it's good for anybody looking to maintain a healthy scalp. Just a little side note, I actually spilled like a good majority of this. It was a sad day. So honestly, I had it was like completely full, and then I spilled like this much of it. Then I turned around and spilled even more of it. It's all right, I just need to stock back up. Moving on to the 360 Merch Moisturizer. This is designed to keep your hair hydrated. It has essential nutrients that contribute to the overall appearance and health of your hair. It focuses on deep conditioning, helping to alleviate dryness and brittleness. This is crucial for maintaining the elasticity of your hair, which in turn reduces the likelihood of breakage. Deep conditioning with this moisturizer ensures that your hair retains moisture more effectively, promoting softer, more manageable waves. It's an essential step for everyone looking to improve the resilience of their hair. In addition to improving your hair texture, this plays a vital role in hair health too, and an even more significant role in scalp health. It's formulated to address common problems like dandruff or dryness. This creates a healthier environment for hair growth. A well-nourished scalp is the foundation for strong and healthy hair, which is vital for creating well-defined waves. Another key benefit of using this moisturizer is the added strength and shine that it adds to your hair. Nourished hair not only looks better, but also is stronger, and it's less prone to damage. The result is a glossy finish that enhances the final result of your hair, making them look just a little bit more vibrant and full of life. I'll also share my approach to adding this moisturizer to a routine that will maximize the benefits. The goal here is just to make sure that your waves not only look good, but that they're well maintained as well. By focusing on proper application and consistency, you can pretty much make sure that your hair is going to be well maintained and healthy, which will of course be aesthetically pleasing, right? Next up, let's style with the Wave Essentials Strawberry Shortcake Pomade Butter. This one helps you achieve that impeccable style. Here are some of the benefits. Since it is a pomade butter, it's definitely helpful for styling. It's gonna help you lay your hair down. That's what it's designed to do, but it's also gonna nourish your hair as well. You're gonna keep your waves in check. It's a natural product. It smells great too. That's something I should have mentioned with this one. Also by the Wave Essentials, these two here, both smell amazing. They're both the strawberry shortcake flavors. I'm not gonna eat them. I just call them that because I don't know why I call them that. Anyway, it's gonna help with styling. It's gonna help with laying your hair down. It's gonna keep your waves in check. Also, I made a video on the different mistakes that people commonly make for 360 waves. So you've been brushing, but no waves. What gives? Let's start with the basics and build from there. Number one, how frequent are you brushing? How often are you brushing? If it's less than daily, you found your first hiccup. It's not about brushing just to say you did it. It's about forming a habit that's a part of your daily routine. When I was in the early stages, my brush was basically just like an extension of my hand, because it was like I was doing brush sessions maybe like 2 or 3 times a day. It's simple logic. The more you brush your hair, the more your hair is going to be trained for the waves to lay down. Number 2 is the session length. Quick 5-minute brush sessions are not going to cut it. You should be aiming for at least like 30-minute brush sessions, maybe even an hour if you have the time for each brush session. Listen, it's all about dedication. Those shorter brush sessions, they're really just scratching the surface, literally and figuratively. Now that we got the basics out of the way, let's dive a little bit deeper. 1, brushing technique. It's not all about how long you brush or how often you brush, but sometimes it's also about how you brush. Are you hitting all the angles correctly? Your Wave pattern should be unique to you, which means the way you brush should follow that same pattern. This might mean adjusting your angles or experimenting with different brushes just to see what works best for your wave goals and your hair. Number 2 is hair health. Healthy hair waves better. If your hair is dry or damaged, it's going to be a lot harder to see progress. This means staying hydrated, eating right, and using the products that are going to nourish your hair. Moisturizing is key. Find a good moisturizer that works for your hair and use it consistently. Number 3 is going to be patience is key. Everyone's hair is different. Your friend might see waves in a month while it might take you a little bit longer. That's perfectly normal. Comparing your journey to someone else's is kind of like comparing apples to oranges. It doesn't make sense because you're not working with the same starting point. So here are some practical tips for moving forward. This isn't really just for waves, this is for like everyday use. Just make a schedule. Plan out your whole day and make sure to put brushing on that schedule. You can even make a schedule within that schedule specifically for your waves or for other things. It doesn't matter. Just make a schedule. Trust me, it helps. And make sure you stay educated and keep learning. The more you know about hair care and waves, the better equipped you'll be when different problems arise with your wave. You already have this knowledge base, so you already know, okay, this is wrong, this is what I gotta do. Listen, I'm doing all this explaining for you guys. The least you guys can do is just press a like. I think I've earned your like by now, right? So this don't really got that many ingredients to it, but just imagine it was like a regular product that you buy in a store. It would say the ingredients listed on the back. You could just take a picture and go ahead and Google those ingredients and see if those are good for your hair. Or why not just drop a comment down below with the list of ingredients that are in it, and I'll probably leave a comment in response telling you if it's a good product to use or not. Listen, I don't know how many views this video is gonna get. It can get 500 views, it can get 500,000 views. If it gets 500,000 views and it gets 500,000 comments, I'll be very thankful, but that's a lot of comments to reply to. So if there's anybody else that knows about waves and you're watching, you're an experienced waver, you're an elite waver, look out for them comments too. Listen, this is a big community of wavers. If you can help, you can help. Cool. Okay, yeah, but like the shampoos, you wanna make sure you're getting products that are not stripping your hair of the natural oils, and you wanna make sure they're nourishing your hair as well. Now, let's zero in on the single most crucial element in getting 360 waves. Can you guess what that is? I'll give you 3 seconds. This thing right here, brush. Brushing your hair is the backbone of 360 waves, whether you're just starting out or whether you've been doing it for a while. No amount of products nor the perfect haircut can substitute for the work that you put in with your brush. So that's why today I'm challenging you to put in at least an hour with your brush. And listen, this isn't about showing me that you can do it. You don't need to show me. This is about proving to yourself that you are dedicated to getting waves. How bad do you want waves? Are you dedicated? Because you're watching this video and you're watching this far in the video. Clearly you want waves, right? You want waves? Prove it to yourself. Do you have a brush yet? Have you gone to the store and bought the brush? Because if you have, now is the time to start brushing. And if you haven't, then as soon as you get that brush, you need to prove it to yourself that you're willing to use it. And while I have this here, if you're looking for a brush, a high quality brush, look at that. I got this one from Smooth Styles. Let me show you what it looks like. This is from smoothstyles.com. So if you need a brush, a wave brush, go to www.smoothstyles.com and use my promo code WAVEMAN for 30% off. That's a pretty big discount. No, that's a huge discount, especially how expensive everything is. 30% off of anything is crazy. You need to go get one before that's too late. You need to get one. I'm sure you've seen how my waves look, and you see I've been using these for years now. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. But look, when you brush, you need to first, okay, I should have said this from the beginning, but first you need to determine what your wave pattern is. Are you going for 360? Are you going for 540? Maybe even 720. Depending on that wave pattern that you're going for, that is going to determine how you brush your hair. 360 brush in a horizontal pattern, 540 brush diagonally, 720 brush vertically. Of course, there's more patterns in between. You've got other styles like 180, but one thing is for sure, whatever pattern you pick, make sure you stick with that pattern. I'm not saying you can't change your mind and say, oh, I want to do this pattern instead. What I'm trying to say is you need to stay on the same brushing patterns every single day. So if you say you're doing 360 and you brush like this today, don't brush like this tomorrow and then like this the day after that. Every time you brush your hair, it needs to be in the same direction on each side. Does that make sense? Also, when you're applying your products, I should have said that in the product section, apply it in the same direction that you brush your hair. When you're washing your hair, you should always be washing it in the same direction as well. Of course, you got to think about scrambling and stuff like that, but like in the process of doing the method. Consistency is key, commitment is key. Just remember these things. How to get waves on the sides. First, why is it even important to get waves on the sides anyway? Well, without waves on the sides, you really won't get that complete look. It doesn't matter if you're going for 360s, 540s, 720s, it doesn't matter. You're gonna wanna have waves on all sides to make sure your waves really look complete. I'll also make a video focusing on the crown too, because that's a side all on its own, arguably the most important. So make sure you're subscribed so you are here when that video drops too. So the first thing that I think could be causing this problem for you is that your hair just isn't long enough. You could be just like me. Somebody like me, I have pretty thin hair. Sometimes I use enhancements on my hairline. That's what I got on right now. By the way, I did this line up in like 5 minutes before I recorded this video. But yeah, I have pretty thin hair, so I need to have my hair grown out quite a bit in order for it to wave up on the sides. You probably can't tell because I have this fresh line up, but I'm actually wolfing. So yeah, you need to be growing out your hair to a length where it can wave up on the sides. If your hair is thinner, you might need to focus on that a little bit more. Your hair needs to be long enough to wave, no matter if it's on the top, on the sides, on the back, in the crown, it needs to be long enough. Get it? Something else that could be going wrong is that you're just not applying products. Applying products really does matter. You'll feel a difference in your hair. You'll see a difference in your hair. If you haven't watched my video about products, make sure you go watch that one after this one. Your hair could be lacking moisture. Also, there could just be issues with your brushing technique. So there could be different brush angles needed for your sides. It all depends on the actual pattern that you're going for overall. So if you're going for a pattern that's like completely horizontal on all the sides, and then you're brushing your sides a different way, they're just gonna form in a very odd, like clashing way. It's gonna make a bunch of forks, and sometimes it might not even be enough space for things to form correctly anyway. Replay the video right quick, go listen to that again. Tell me, did that make sense? If it made sense, drop a comment down below saying it makes sense. So yeah, make sure you're hitting your brush angles correctly. The easiest way to know you're hitting the right brush angles is to see it in your crown. Whatever waves are forming in your crown, just follow that pattern all the way down to the hairline. That's why you need to make sure that your crown is in check, because the crown starts it all. Once the crown lays that foundation, you just follow it from there. So yeah, you need to make sure you allow your sides to grow long enough. I know I feel like I just jumped to the same topic that I was talking about earlier, but yeah, the wave length and the curl length, they all tie in together. There could also be a connection to your hair texture or hair type, whether your hair is like a finer or coarse texture. There could be a connection there. So just adjust your routine based on that. See what works for you. If it works, stick with it. You should also try wolfing. I'm wolfing right now. This is probably like 6 or 7 weeks, I think. Tell me what you think. You can also focus on your hair health too. I know this feels like it's off topic, but trust me, it's kind of on topic because all these things really connect. So just make sure you're keeping your hair hydrated and you're using the appropriate products. Odds are you probably just ain't brushing enough. Plain and simple. Listen, I know because I used to be there. I know exactly what's going on. You think you brushing, but are you really brushing? All right, get your brush right now. Get one. It don't matter which one, okay? Now, 100 brush strokes on every single side. 100 on the top, 100 on the right side, 100 on every single side, including the crown. 100 brush strokes on every single side, including the crown. Because like I mentioned, the crown is so important, probably the most important. So grab your brush. All right. So let me give you a quick 360 of my waves. I'm about to take off this Durag in a quick second. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. What you think? Here's the right side. Here's the back. You can see the crown up there too. The left side.
and the top. So, like I said, we're gonna do 100 brush strokes on every side. I really wanted to share this video with you guys just because I haven't posted this exact video in a few years, and when I posted it, not many people actually watched it. So this is probably new to a good majority of you guys, because not only is it old, but even the old people didn't watch it. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna try not to talk too much just because I want you guys to sit back, watch, and really see what I'm doing without having to worry about listening to anything. By the way, I can already tell my voice is echoing. I'm in the office at work right now. So yeah, let you guys get to it. I'm gonna apply some products and we're gonna start brushing.
so after all that brushing, you need to make sure that your hard work doesn't go to waste. And that's where the do-rag comes into play. Wearing the do-rag after a brush session really helps lock in the moisture and helps to maintain your waves. Wearing a do-rag also can protect them. So when you go to sleep and your head is gonna be against your bed, against your pillow, against pretty much anything, the do-rag is gonna protect them. Otherwise, they're gonna be, there's gonna be a lot of friction and frizz. This is why anytime I do pretty much anything where I think my hair may get messed up, I got the do-rag on. If I'm going to sleep, I got the do-rag on. If I'm going on a long car ride and I'm not the driver, I think I'm probably gonna take a nap or something, I got the do-rag on. If I'm going to the pool, I got the do-rag on. At the beach, I got the do-rag on. If I'm playing basketball, I got the do-rag on. If I'm playing golf, I don't play golf, but if I were to play golf, I would wear a do-rag. Okay, so actually let me explain that. When you're playing sports, you should always wear your do-rag. Not just because somebody might accidentally rub up against your head, but think about it. Your hair is going to get wet. You're like, what? They're not gonna turn on the sprinklers, are they? It's not gonna rain, is it? Somebody's not gonna like pour water on your head, are they? No, none of those things are true. But you know what probably is true? You're probably gonna sweat. And if I remember correctly, sweat is pretty wet. Yeah, you didn't think of that one, did you? You probably did. But yeah, it's important to wear your do-rag, especially when your hair runs the risk of messing up. Also, another reason for the do-rag, you might not know this, but it can lay your waves down. That's why when you wake up in the morning and you take off your do-rag, your waves might be more laid than they have been like all day, because the do-rag is really just compressing your waves down. Oh yeah, make sure to wear a do-rag that's made of like some type of silky material. Don't look for something that looks like, like some type of weird cloth or something. The reason why you want to avoid those type of materials, something like this, is because your hair mimics what it comes in contact with. So if you put something cloth-like on your head, your hair's gonna feel kind of cloth-like when you take it off. You don't really want that, do you? Yeah, neither do I. But think of it this way, if that's true for the cloth, why can't it be for something silky? It makes sense, right? That's why everybody wants a silky do-rag. Because when you take off that silky smooth do-rag, what does your hair look like? What does your hair feel like? Silky smooth. Just remember, it's not necessary to tie it super tight. You don't need to cut off the circulation to your brain. All that's gonna do is make sure you get a tight line on your forehead, maybe even mess up the waves around your head too. I keep saying waves like you guys already have waves. I know this is day one. I mean, some of you guys might already have waves. Anyway, just don't tie the do-rag too tight. Okay, but we've covered a lot today. So we've covered from washing to brushing and everything in between. So now you've got the basics for starting your wave journey. And like I said at the beginning, it only takes 1 second to like the video. Just go ahead and smack it right in the face. Oh yeah, don't forget to drop a question down below if you have one. I'm not afraid to answer your questions. And like I said, there might be some other elite wavers watching this video who might be in the mood to help you out and answer some of your questions too. And oh yeah, don't think I forgot. I'm still challenging you to do that 1 hour of brushing. Like I said, this is a commitment for you. You need to make sure you're dedicated to getting waves. This is not one of those like hairstyles where you just get it and forget it. Dreadlocks, I feel like they just let it grow and they just let it be. Curly hair people, maybe they like ruffle their hair back and forth, and that's all they really got to do. Us wavers, on the other hand, we got to put in that work. This is really like a sport of a hairstyle. Like, you get better based on the work you actually put in. That's what makes it fun. Besides the fact that they just look cool, like, you can actually change the way that they look. You can make them look cooler. Just think of that. You're in the path to getting waves, but once you get them, you'll be able to change them into something even better, and they'll never stop evolving. It's a fun journey, and I'm glad you're on it. Make sure you subscribe right now. I'm Wave Man Mike. Subscribe, comment, and like. Enjoy your day.